Space is often a constraint in Lagos where I live. Real estate is expensive. There's barely enough space for buildings, let alone for greenery, and so people tend not to have plants. But all that is changing. Hi, I'm Joan. I'm a plant and gardening content writer for my website, plantsintropicalspaces.com. I'm trying to inspire a do-it-yourself gardening culture in my community. And today I'm here to see a friend's garden, what she calls her slice of Amazon. Hello, Buki.
Hi.
Hi, so this is Buki. She's on Instagram, my slice of Amazon. So Buki, we're here to see your garden.
Yes,
so you will tell us about this
welcome.
garden and why it's called my slice of Amazon,
Okay,
right? Okay.
great.
All right, so come along. Why do you call your garden my slice of Amazon?
Okay, so when I started, when I got into plants,
Okay, when was this?
really, I think that was like 2020. It's been
Okay.
many years trying off and on with different plants, but when I really wanted to put plants in my space, and then I really met people in the plant community, I started buying more plants, and I thought of where could I put them in my space. So there's some out front, in front of the house.
Okay. So this is the side of the house. This is the side of the
this
building.
south side of the building, and we have this green area.
Green, that's the
which-
artificial grass, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the
okay.
turf.
Because it's all concrete. Yes.
So there's beach sand
Okay.
under
Oh,
here.
really? All right.
The interlocking doesn't continue; it stops.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and so the idea for this space, really, I think my husband's idea was to have a space for the kids to play.
Okay. All right.
We hang out here. Of course, the clothes line is there. Not necessarily definitely not for parking cars or anything.
Okay.
Just a space to have to then access the kitchen from the back. And so there was this strip on the side close to the wall of the building, which was
Okay.
really bare. There was nothing there, just the interlocking stones on that part. So what I then did was started to arrange my plants around there, and sometimes you would see that I would always see that it's in the shade.
Okay.
And before the buildings behind us got built up, we used to get like sunset streaks
Okay.
coming in here.
Yeah,
So if you check on my page, you'll see a picture where I put like a slice of sunset.
Oh, okay.
And so that was kind of like the inspiration to say this is like a tiny slice of space where I put my plants.
Okay. Oh.
And then when I thought about where are my plants from, basically, of course, it's tropical plants.
Yeah.
A lot of tropical plants which work well for our climate.
Okay.
And then I've always been fascinated with the Amazon jungle, as in the nature, just the nature, the awesomeness of it. And this cannot even be a slice of that
the
Amazon. It
Amazon.
must be a slice of a slice of a slice of a teeny weeny bit of the Amazon jungle. And so that was
How the name came about.
How the name came about.
So tell me, what was the first plant you collected, or what was the gateway plant, the plant that made you really get interested and hooked on this plant journey?
So when I started, putting plants in the space, which was essentially just to put a bit of green, then I found out, alocasias. And I was so fascinated with that name. I felt the name was very exotic. And from that, I started collecting more alocasias.
Okay.
Amazonica, Bambino.
Oh yeah, we swapped a
Cuprea.
Longiloba, exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
Cuprea.
Longiloba is quite hardy.
Okay.
In fact, it's my favorite.
Okay.
It's just that people feel it doesn't look very interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So where's your Longiloba?
My Longiloba is over there.
Okay.
And Longiloba is hiding in the shade of this because this place gets very
sunny.
sunny.
Oh, this is so full.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, look at that stump. This is huge. So it doesn't die back?
This is my mother.
This is your mother
This
plant?
is the
My
mother
goodness.
plant. And I know that I've had lots of babies go to several families
from this.
Several
Wow.
people from this.
Okay, that's cool. So what's this? This is the Alocasia cuculata.
Cuculata.
Okay, nice.
Yes. So this one too it's a favorite, actually.
Okay.
It's doing so well. I
Yeah,
think it's also
it is.
quite acclimatized.
Yeah.
I think it's almost able to take full sun now. Also has like multiple stumps.
Okay, that's cool.
I know. I haven't actually. So I think these are the two
Alocasias that
almost
are still,
allocations
that are still alive.
Are still alive. I've had the Jacqueline.
And it
I
died.
nursed it, and it died. So I kind of,
Okay.
I'm
So
kind of.
I guess
off
that's a lesson for anyone who's interested in getting alocasias. For our climates here, these are the more resilient ones. Cucullata, Amazonica is also resilient, and then the longiloba definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What's that? That's the Thai constellation.
Yes.
Okay.
This
How long
is
have
the
you had
Thai
that?
constellation. Oh, it should be like it's up to a year already.
Okay. All right.
Less than.
And that's
It's grown quite big. In fact, I'm thinking I need to
report it.
report it.
But it's doing so well. It's hardly getting burnt.
Yes, because look, so very soon this might be disturbing the new growth. So I don't know. Or sometimes what we do is we shift it. Maybe there's a need to shift it, but I just need to check because
It doesn't even want to go on the pole.
Aha, that's the thing. It doesn't.
It's not even interested in going on the pole. Maybe you
soon.
have to guide it. That's another thing. You probably have to guide it on the pole. Okay, so that's a Thai constellation. This is a ponytail palm.
Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite genus, or do you just like everything?
Oh, I think I like a bit of everything.
Okay, so
but I think I found out that I like a lot of philodendrons.
Okay.
So I'm a foliage
person.
Yeah. And sometimes I find that when I see more interesting foliage, then I delve into that genus to see what else is interesting.
In that.
So if you see on my page now, I say I'm in my fern era.
Oh yes.
And that's because I've seen a lot of interesting
ferns.
Yes.
Okay.
So on this ponytail palm, this one I've had it for like 2 years or so.
Okay, and it's doing quite well in this terracotta pot.
Yes.
Okay.
It started off I bought it in a small plastic nursery pot.
And really, and it's grown so big.
And it's grown so big.
Wow. So I can see this Persian shield. I had one recently, and I mean I don't think it's lasted a week or so with me, and then it died. So, but this looks beautiful. How are you managing it? How are you keeping it looking so?
Yeah. So good. This Persian shield, I got it right in the middle of Harmattan.
Okay.
And I found that it always dried out. I couldn't keep up. I was doing like morning, evening, morning, evening.
Oh, really? So I guess that's what killed mine. It dried out.
So what I decided to do was put it on a water tray.
Okay. So it always has access to water.
So it always has. I don't even
like
water in here.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So it's always absorbing water.
And then I use that to even determine how much. Then I can even track to see how quickly that water dries up.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to put the water every day. So you see, this morning, this is early in the morning.
You've already watered it?
I haven't. I did it yesterday morning.
Okay.
And the tray is dry.
Okay.
So of course on a hot day too, you have a lot of evaporation.
Okay.
I'm also suspecting that probably helps it with humidity
around
the
it.
plant.
Okay. So that's how to keep a Persian shield alive. This is your billitae. Philodendron billitae.
Yes.
Okay.
So fascinating.
I love this,
especially because of the orange.
Orange petioles.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. Is it easy?
Yes, I find this to be quite easy. I do nothing. I actually believe this one to possibly almost root bound because this pot is not as big as it looks.
Is it supposed to climb?
I don't know. I think as it matures, it tries to behave like it wants to climb. So similar to what we see with the
ball marks.
With the saw, the crocodile saw.
Okay.
That big plant in the corner.
Okay, all right.
What's it called?
Crocodile saw. Okay.
The philodendron.
I know narrow escape.
Narrow escape.
Okay, is that you call it crocodile saw?
I know someone that calls it crocodile something. So yeah, the narrow escape, which is grown so big, at some point it then starts to tilt, and it seems like it would do better if you put it on a pole.
Okay.
Maybe more for support. I'm not so sure if it's for climbing.
Yeah.
Because I think the plant is maybe out in the wild.
Yes, I guess it will find something.
It will find something.
Yes. Yeah.
So this, I like it in this tall pot because I think it's,
it takes it up.
It takes
Yeah,
it
so
up
that the
and makes
leaves
it
don't touch the
elegant.
ground. Yes, and
Yes.
then the leaves, so the leaves look pristine,
Yes.
in good condition. Okay, and then that's a ficus. Is this a tineke or what? A ruby or what? Ruby.
This
Ficus
is
ruby.
this is a ruby.
Okay.
I find that it doesn't like too much
sun.
Yes, it burns the leaf. However, you still need sufficient light to get the
maintain
beautiful
this variegation.
variegation.
This is so beautiful. Yeah, look at
Right.
that.
I try to clean it.
Oh.
And so this was also going quite tall. At some point I felt it was leggy.
Okay,
I
so you
wanted
want
to, I tried to make it branch out.
Yeah, and
It didn't. It just continued
It's
on
very
its
tall,
straight path.
but it's branching out now.
And
lower
then
down here.
it did it more. Yeah. I then had smaller ones.
I don't think
or
you
shoots
can. I
coming
mean,
out.
well, I don't know. I just try not to control my plants too much. I have enough to think about.
Yeah. But because now it's quite tall, it's not really advisable to then pinch here to try
because
to
then
branch
now
out
branch
because
out.
it's now be too top heavy.
Yeah,
They will
yeah.
only-
You'll be surprised. It might branch out lower anyway.
Oh,
Yes,
it can.
It's actually,
Okay,
I
yes,
could actually
yes.
branch out lower. But then, of course, you could air layer it.
Exactly.
In a lower
So I'm
position,
thinking to
Air
air layer it
there.
and then have a shorter plants and of course multiples as well.
Yeah.
It becomes more easier to manage.
Yeah.
Many times with the rain on wind from the beach, this is one
You
of
live
the
near
plants.
the beach. You live. This is
Yes, near the Elegushi beach.
beach. Okay.
So this is one of the plants that we pick up in the morning.
oh, with the wind. Yeah,
Yes.
it just knocks it down.
Yes,
Okay.
and then I think the pot too is quite light.
Yeah.
I need to put
So you use
it
a lot
in a
of.
bigger,
I can see perlite. Is that perlite in your potting mix? Or was it?
yes, this is like from 2 years ago or
okay.
18 months ago as a minimum. I no longer use perlite in my mix.
Okay. Okay. What do you use?
Sharp sand.
Okay. To improve
To
drainage.
improve,
okay. Do you always use
drainage?
in all the pots that you want to?
Majority. So it will only, what will differ will then be the proportion
Portion of sand.
of
Okay,
sharp
so
sand,
sharp sand
depending.
works very
Yeah.
well. Okay. And yeah, so this is the Monstera dubia. Oh, I remember when this plant was such a sensation.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody wanted to have it.
Yes.
So there it is, growing so tall, fenestrated leaves.
I've even seen
I
another
think-
tendril.
I think I like the younger leaves better than
That is what I have
than the
discovered.
mature leaves. Look at the younger leaves.
So
yeah,
if
and then as it gets older, the
Yes.
fenestrated leaves are not as
they're
interesting.
Not, they're not as interesting
Yeah.
foliage wise.
So I guess you could chop it. Yeah.
Yes.
So when you chop, you're going to sell your cuttings, right? Oh, definitely. I mean, you spent lots of money on this plant, so when you
So for this one, yeah, it's just to have a more manageable plant because you see, once it is established, it then starts to grow almost like a weed, especially in rainy season. I can't keep up
with that
with the extension, with the pole extensions,
we'll have
which
to
I
find-
do by myself, or
So you manage this garden yourself with
Yes.
some help from a few people.
with some help from a few people.
But you're definitely more involved. You don't have a professional gardener.
No,
Yeah, coming
no.
to look at things for you.
Of course,
You're doing it.
of
So you
course, I
have
reach out to my people.
Yeah.
In fact, and I always use it to remember my friends in the plant community.
Okay.
If I pass by the plant, I know it was
person
Auntie Tippy who helped
me.
popped my brasil because
Okay.
she got fed up and she was like, Buki, you need to put this on a pole.
Okay.
And then she came one day and
then
did
put
it
it-
all up. And
Wow,
now
so you
it
don't
is-
open this window because that's the bristle climbing
Yes.
and clinging to that window.
We don't open the window.
window.
So it's also, maybe Auntie Tippy needs
You
to
know that
come
when
back.
I've seen the philodendron bristle as it grew bigger and taller and climbed up, it lost the variegation.
Correct.
Okay, so you've had that experience.
I'm seeing that. So I
So you
preferred it
keep
when
chopping up?
I kept chopping this. I'll
Okay.
probably chop this up because
Okay.
whenever we need to clean real
the window,
deep
okay,
cleaning, we
you have
will
to chop
it up and clean this area anyways.
Okay, so that's, I mean, we've talked a lot about chopping. Obviously, because this is really a small space, you have to keep chopping and giving out and selling or whatever.
Yes,
yeah,
but
so-
however, that was not my
Intention.
original. Of course, because I always started the plant small. When you
Yeah.
buy a plant, we normally don't buy
big
a
plants.
big plant.
Okay,
I use this Ponytail as an example. When
Yeah.
I bought this one, it was
Yeah.
much smaller than this
Oh,
one.
really?
It was
And in 2 years, it's grown this.
And yes.
Okay.
So
what do you feed your plants with? Do you use-
I use plant food.
Okay,
but
a
I'm
synthetic
even
fertilizer.
Yes, I'm not very regular.
Okay.
I would say I try to do maybe like once a month.
Okay.
Of course, we know that for the plant food we use, sometimes it says every 2 weeks.
Yeah, but
I use.
But you
at
use
least
compost
in a
now. I've
month.
seen you
So
use
I
compost.
cook- I-
use
yes,
compost.
I
So
use
the compost
compost.
actually works.
Exactly.
It's feeding the soil. So
Exactly.
your soil is good. I think the
Exactly.
plant food, when you have to depend on synthetic fertilizers, is because there's nothing in the soil. Maybe when you're not using garden soil, you're using potting media, potting
Correct.
mix.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's really nothing much in the soil.
But or when you have potted the plant
For a long
time,
time,
so
yeah, and then the soil is
The
depleted,
soil is
yeah.
already depleted, so it
Yeah.
helps. So
Okay.
sometimes I top up with compost.
Yeah, and
Of
then
course,
yeah, and then-
especially if you don't need to repot. But if
Yeah.
you're reporting anyways,
yeah.
I'm going to use fresh soil with
And-
compost and all. So in the bid to make the garden much bigger,
Yeah.
I was always looking forward to getting bigger plants.
Okay.
Like I wanted my plants to grow. I was like, this ficus is not growing fast enough. Now they are so big.
And, yeah,
And now
yeah.
I'm now wishing and
You
looking,
didn't have,
wishing
yeah.
I didn't have so
Yeah. I guess
so
that,
many
yeah, we get
big
carried away.
plants.
Yeah.
And then of course I'm doing all the work, so I have a lot of reporting
To do, and then of course the bigger the plants are, the more difficult it is to manage on your own.
on the space.
Yeah. What's that?
So
Is this-
Philodendron, ring of fire.
This is the ring of fire.
Yes.
Lovely.
So this pot is already
It's
too small for it,
mm,
and I'm just been postponing because I don't even really have the space to put it
put
when I
it.
put it in a bigger
yeah.
pot.
And then when you chop it, sometimes the top part looks better than the bottom part. So when you chop it, you want to keep the top, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
And
maybe-
but once you chop it too sometimes and you really don't have very fresh, juicy aerial roots,
yeah.
the new leaves coming are going to be small anyways.
Okay.
So it's almost like starting all
all over again. Okay.
over again.
Oh well.
in some
So hang in there,
cases.
Philodendron, ring of fire.
Oh my goodness.
I like
Yeah.
the stands. So you have the stands that
Oh yes.
give you height. So you can hang three
Yes.
pots, 3 pots or 4 pots on that stand.
Yes.
Okay. I have to get something like this.
So it helps. If you can't go, what do they say? If you
You
can't
can go
horizontal,
horizontally, go vertical. Yeah, and that's what's going to happen
It's,
to a lot of us here. The space,
Yes.
and we always want more plants.
And for go here.
So what do you have in this? You have the shelf here.
Yes. So
Okay,
this section is like what I say is like an extension of the slice.
Okay, all right.
Because the slice is really against the wall.
Okay, and
But
then,
of course, as I got more and more plants, I needed space to put some. So there's some on this side, some behind the house, in front, behind the kitchen. So what I put here is I try to put sun-loving plants
yeah.
on top because this is full day
I can
sun,
imagine
and you know it's been quite hot
this last few days.
this month, so it's really been a
So you
lot.
have that. This is the moon cactus. Yeah.
Then this one I call it button. I don't remember the name. Yeah, but it's grown much bigger than when I originally got it. It came in
Okay.
a really teeny weeny pot. So I tried to keep sansevieria
Cacti.
here.
This is a type of bromeliad, isn't it?
Yes. This plant, I've been trying to remember who gave it to me. I believe, oh yes, we brought this from Abuja, the Garden Haven. Mary
Okay, all right.
gave us this plant.
Was it as big as this?
No.
Okay,
It
so I can
was-
see smaller ones there.
Yes.
So they came about this size.
Yes.
Okay. So is it going to grow a lot bigger?
It looks like maybe with reporting, but it's really
Yeah.
sharp.
Yeah, it's very, yeah, you need
It's
to
really
get
sharp.
some really nice long gloves to deal with
Yeah.
this bromeliad.
I like the fact that the leaves are curling.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, it has lots of babies. too.
So you,
So unless, and then this happens to us all the time. If
Yeah.
you don't pick up the plants,
yeah.
you may not know what is happening.
One of my aloes is flowering. I saw it yesterday and I have to go and take a picture.
You may not know what is happening. And of course, that is two ways you may not know what is happening. Sometimes you miss the fun things
And sometimes,
happening.
then sometimes
And then
there's a problem.
there's a
yeah, like a
problem.
pest or something.
Yes.
What sort
Like-
of? This is not the typical cylindrica.
No.
What's this?
I think this is an imported variant.
Of
Of-
this of the
of,
cylindrica. So
yes.
it's like a dwarf form or something. Maybe the star or something.
Yes, I think it was called something star.
Okay.
I expect that if you pot it in
It might grow bigger.
it might
Exactly.
grow bigger.
Yeah, still, philodendron, sansevierias have that trait.
Yes.
They could stay small or grow
Yes.
bigger depending on
Yes. So I
the
have
conditions.
given
This
grandma
is the
cactus
this is the Whitney,
the Whitney.
and it's a lot bigger.
And if we go to her garden, she
It's-
put it in a big pot, and it was like tall,
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
So it just gives it a whole different look
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. So here I also have to put a lot of sansevierias on top, cacti on top,
Yeah.
and then they act kind of like
As the
shade
for the ones
for the
down.
plants.
So you have the
under.
aglaonemas down.
So
What's this pink aglaonema called? Do you know the name? It's so pretty.
I have to look it up. So
This
I
is not tricolor, is it?
probably. I won't be surprised. It's one of those rare ones because so here I try to keep, of course, the rarer ones. This one too was rare, and then I find that they do well under here. But you see, they then
There's a limit to how much here because
there's a limit.
Yeah.
There is headroom.
yeah, there's no
Glass
headroom.
ceiling. There's no headroom to grow, and then it starts to bend. So I really then have to figure out what to do. Same thing that happened to my snow. That plant.
So you might
was
have to
actually
build
here.
another shelf that
Yes,
has more headroom,
yeah.
or take out one of these layers. Yeah.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
possibly,
Possibly take out one of the layers.
possibly. So a few aglaonemas here. The smaller ones, when they get bigger, they definitely have to go. This is a philodendron. This one too, also already getting too big for
What
this
philodendron
space.
is this? It looks like the painted lady.
Strawberry.
Okay, but it's
It's in the family
Full
of
of
painted lady,
yeah,
but it's the other variants.
okay.
I don't remember the name. So this one too, I definitely need to report it soon. So these two, when the sun is a lot, sometimes get a bit. You see some of the plants are showing signs of sun damage. Yeah, but I try to hide
Them from the sun.
them from the sun when I notice that. This is my baby silver sword, philodendron. I'm trying to make this into a much.
Okay, so you just got this as a small plant,
No.
or you've had it and you've chopped it
So
up
this is a stem propagation from my old
Okay.
silver sword, which
Okay.
I had to cut up and got damaged by the sun.
Oh.
So I sort of started again. So I have this form now, and then I have the big
Okay.
mature plants also from that. So sometimes when things happen like sun damage, pests especially, I believe something ate the roots of that. Rather than throwing it away, I
Okay,
do
you try to
stem-
salvage it, yeah.
Yes, then I
yeah.
do the stem propagations. I've showed you
Yeah,
that as well.
Okay.
So this was from the stem. I put it in my little greenhouse,
Okay, and then
this
for
came
the
out of
humidity.
after some time it comes out of the greenhouse
Okay.
and can
Okay.
take sun. Also hiding my
Is this the silver sword?
Raphidophora.
This is the bigger silver
Yes,
sword.
this is the biggest silver sword.
Okay.
So this is also a descendant of my original silver
really?
sword.
Okay, your plants
So
grow very quickly.
it's a bigger brother to that one that the juvenile one that we saw. Which
What's
is
this? This is squamiferum.
yes.
Or what's left of
so
it?
my squamiferum definitely not looking
Wonderful.
wonderful.
But then the AC vent here is pushing out hot air.
Yes.
It's
So
going to
this
bother this plant.
AC is only on today. It's not been on for the past 2 years. This is the BQ. We don't
Oh
use
really?
it.
Oh okay. Okay. All right.
Usually
And that's
not
a
in
painted
use.
lady there.
Yes. So painted lady too, I have multiples because because I have a couple of propagation, trying to keep the plants small as well.
Okay.
Or should I say manageable? And then for this Raphidophora, I tried so many times, but now it's doing quite well, actually.
And how come it hasn't even clung to the wall? Because it would prefer to
it's-
cling to the wall.
Just
You-
moved.
Oh, you just moved
Recently moved here
Okay.
from
Okay,
this
from-
harsh spot because
okay.
they had too much sun, so it's
it here.
recently moved.
So that's you really do have a problem. Oh, I can see some plants at the bottom of the table tennis table. What are they doing there? So these are your
Oh my
latest
goodness.
acquisitions.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. When are they going to see the light of day?
They are, I believe they're already
acclimatizing
seeing lights.
Oh,
They're
gosh.
already getting some light. You
Okay,
can
so those
see.
are the ferns. You said you're into a fern phase. Can you show us some of them?
Yes.
Okay.
So, this is a Japanese tassel fern.
Okay, lovely.
Quite some, I can't remember their names.
Oh, this is lovely.
So I've been studying and trying to.
This looks like the silver brick fern, a genus in that family. Yeah, this is a crocodile fern. Yeah. Okay.
Fern.
I wish you all the best with it.
Let's see. I think they get thirsty as well.
Yeah.
This one I remember. This is the rosy maidenhead fern.
Okay.
It has the black stem.
Oh yeah.
So
it's such a shame that if they're under this table, when it rains, the rain isn't going to get to them, and you really need the rain to get to them. So what's the plan?
So this ones, they will get the rain from the roots if I leave them under the table.
Okay, so when the ground gets wet.
And this ground gets wet,
okay,
flooded.
all right. I always like it when the rain washes
the plants.
Yeah, the plants, especially ferns.
So,
Because they just
but
get
that's not
refreshed by the rain.
Oh, this has new growth. So that's not even a problem just for the table.
Yeah.
Actually, this is very, very temporary. It's actually a problem for the slice because against the wall,
They don't get the rain.
the rain doesn't really get there. So you would find me once in a while out in the rain doing the work of the wind.
Okay, try to move the rain
Trying
towards the
to
move the rain.
water the plants while it is raining or collect some rainwater
for them.
for them.
Okay.
You have splashes, but then I
Doesn't really
really
get to
don't
them.
get the deep watering. So I still have to water my garden after rain or during the rainy season.
Wow,
where
that's a lot of hard work.
I know a lot of people just rely on
And the rain,
on the
yes,
rains
like
to
me.
do the work.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rain now. So what do we have here? Oh, that's your Syngonium 3 Kings. Oh my goodness,
Yes.
it looks
is-
majestic.
In fact, this is these 3 Kings of Orient. This is now my surviving. I think one of my few surviving Syngoniums. At one point, so I was collecting Syngoniums. I believe I had like 12 or so, but
Oh really? But they didn't.
one by one by one. Sometimes I also think that this focus, when I change kind of focus, I'm now into a different
plants.
sorts of plants.
Yeah, you don't think
Maybe
about
there's
them.
some neglect.
I think that the probably one of the problems you
Yes.
have is that the rain doesn't get to this place, so you have to do all of that yourself.
Yes.
My plants look a lot better during the rainy season, so the rain helps. It
Yes.
refreshes them. It contains nitrogen as well, nutrients for them. The rainwater is good. It's free of chemicals. I don't know about you, but my tap water has chemicals in it, and the plants don't really like it, so they respond better during the rainy season. Yeah, and that's a piper.
Yes.
Okay.
So this one too, I got this at the fair.
Okay, the Lagos Garden Fair.
The Lagos,
really?
Lagos Garden Fair.
Okay.
In February, from Savvy Gardens.
Okay, nice.
So I really like it. I'm quite excited because just this morning we talked about if you don't pick up the plant, you
You
won't
don't
see.
know what's going on.
It looks
Like it's brought out a new growth.
a new growth coming out from the roots. It's new.
Okay, so it's growing.
Yes.
Growing quite well.
So because I've been kind of waiting for it
I
to complete
With
the
this
trellis.
Yeah, I love the silvery pattern. Beautiful plant.
Yes. So it appears to start off pinkish.
And
And then you
turn
see silvery because the
silvery.
older leaves don't have the pink that these ones have.
Okay.
So it's quite interesting. I'm also checking the watering needs of this plant. So I use
This bottle to
yes,
give it like a
self-watering globe.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I call it. I don't know
Yeah.
the real name.
Okay.
So I can actually monitor how
much water it's
how
taking.
much water is taking
Okay.
through this. And I think it likes it's
A little bit of
a
moisture.
bit of moisture.
I wish it could get rain. Maybe I should take a cotton from you and try it in my rainforest.
No, where did you take the whole plant and try it in your rainforest? So no, I also have the ability to move. So we talked about potted gardens and gardens, people that have their plants in the soil.
Yeah.
When I say I come out in the rain,
Yeah.
I come out in the rain, I move
Those plants out too.
some of the plants out, especially all those all the aglaonemas in the corner. I move them out
to where the rain gets
see. So the rain
quite
that
gets
day,
there.
they get a lot of rain, and then I see that even that also helps.
Oh, definitely.
Really helps. But I think my best season, surprisingly, is actually the dry season.
Yeah, because at that time the sun is more on the south side.
Yes.
Yes. So between October and March.
Between October and March.
In December, it's actually this place is going to be in complete shade.
Yes. Complete shade, and if you have the cool Harmattan, so it's also quite cool. It may be of course dry, like when we get the harsh Harmattans. But then that's what the garden host
does for you. So this is complete shade because the building is tall. So the sun is on the other side of the building and casting a shadow.
And so I've had people say, "Oh, it's Harmattan, but your plants are looking
very I remember the first time I came here was in January, and your plants are looking wonderful. Yes.
It's also a lot of focus during that time because there's also this idea of, oh, it's dry season.
So you have to do it yourself. Yes. You have to water yourself. You're more conscious.
So, and of course, this section is under the shade.
Okay, complete shade here.
Complete shade gets very bright light. Actually in the afternoons, and so I use this section for my aglaonemas.
The leaves are huge.
Yes, I have put different types of plants here at different points of time. There was one time my Pinati patita was here. It's even attached. That's what peeled off the wall. It attached and was trying to go to the door, and people will always damage it when they open the door. So, and then I had plants like with poles up to here, and with the electric system here, it wasn't quite safe. So I thought, what are the shorter plants that I can actually keep here? And this,
wow, the aglaonemas are looking so happy.
Is how I started this.
My goodness, here are those huge leaves.
The Aglaonema collection. Spots one. There's one stranger in their midst that is not an aglaonema. So spot the difference.
This is different back here.
Exactly. Exactly. But the truth is that I thought it was an aglaonema. That's how I put it there, actually. But then it's doing okay. So
that's a ticky.
Yeah. And so I decided to leave it there. And then so this one of my favorites is this one.
Which one? This is the donor Carmen, right?
I think so. I'm not so familiar with the names of aglaonemas because there's so
many varieties,
and so many varieties look alike.
Exactly.
Even so, I remember I saw this on Zizi's Nest page. Shout out to
Zizi's Nest.
Shout out to Zizi's Nest. And then she sent me as a gift.
How kind.
And it's grown so much. I remember it came in a small bottle.
You're able to lift your pots. That's because it's light.
Exactly.
Yeah. So your potting medium is light.
Very important, especially for me that I need to move
your pots. Yeah.
All year
so you don't
round.
use garden soil.
No garden soil.
No garden soil whatsoever. So cocoa peat,
compost, and sharp sand.
Sharp sand. Okay. Now, well, sharp sand will add some weight to it anyway.
Sharp sand will add some weight. Sometimes I use black soil, depending on the plant. Okay. That also adds some weight.
So,
yes.
Okay, your potting mix is right.
It's really
the plants are doing so well.
Really like.
Yeah, this is encouraging for beginners.
And then
you always take out the flowers.
The flowers.
You missed one flower.
On that same plant.
Yeah, that same plant.
Oh wow, it's so big. Do you know I didn't say
huge.
And then the challenge, of course, with the aglaonemas, some of them, the big ones, they start leaning. I get a lot of wind.
They grow tall and then they start to lean.
I also get a lot of wind.
Then you can chop them
through here.
Okay.
As well. I'm sure the recent wind is the one that pushed my pinkish one. And then this is my Aglaonema Ankara.
This is Pride of Sumatra.
Pride of Sumatra. Yeah. I call it Aglaonema Ankara.
Yeah, okay, so what do we have?
Welcome to the back of the kitchen.
Typical plants person's home.
Oh, man,
every space is used for plants. This is the kitchen window. And so what are you doing? You're propagating here?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, trying to propagate. So some plants, of course, are suffering.
So they're all in water?
They're
water propagation. Some are in cocoa peat.
Some have moved
to cocoa peat
to actual potting mix.
Okay.
And then they're not. They're just getting acclimatized before they move to like full sun. So this is like a new propagation from my plant princess. My white
princess or white wizard? White princess?
White princess.
Okay.
It's white princess, which came from here.
Oh, really? Okay, so this is your greenhouse.
This is my greenhouse.
Okay.
This is a Hoya Mirelli or something like that, which was suffering, and then I tried to revive it, and it's doing much better in here. So this is the greenhouse.
Okay, so you have lots of these plastic tubs for creating a humid environment.
Yes. So I try to use that.
I haven't seen any pest problems. I mean, you talk about snails, but you don't have scales, mealybugs.
You don't have that at the moment.
I guess maybe because of the wind, you have good air circulation, right?
Oh, probably. Oh, that helps. I didn't realize that.
So of course, then the plants are healthy. They're happy, so they can.
But you know, they also like certain plants. So I think some of the plants that they like, I no longer have them. Like
okay, like the alocasias.
I no longer have a lot of alocasias.
Yeah, that died to spider mites.
Yes, there was one time I was collecting coleases, collecting different shapes, colors, and stuff, and it was just a millibug magnet. Yeah. And then I had constant treating. Of course, then I lost them. So
maybe they need to grow in the ground to be really happy.
They were in the ground, in the hedge.
Oh,
but I think the sun too was a lot.
Too much. Yeah, if they're stressed.
In the hedge.
Either maybe too much sun or there's not enough air circulation there. They tend to get stressed.
So some aglaonemas here as well.
These are propagations.
Yeah, these are reviving.
Okay, so this is also an ICU.
Yes, because it was in the shelf.
A
lot of sun damage. Where the sun was hitting it directly. So same with this one.
Yeah.
This one, I'm hoping it will survive because these are just one of those rare ones as well. Okay. This one is fully, in fact, I said it was like fully revived. It was tilted. It was like way bent over. It
has a bronzish
look.
Yeah, another thing again about the aglaonemas is that they tend to look different. The same plants may even look different depending on the amount of light it is. And you start to doubt if it's what it is. Yeah.
Because we had a long argument about this. I believe this is like Snow Queen.
Is this Snow Queen? If this is Snow Queen, Snow White, then it's the biggest Snow White I've ever seen. I don't know.
The common variant?
I don't think this is the common plant because these leaves are huge. I don't know.
Bigger than this?
Yeah.
And then you see what happened here.
Yeah.
Like the variegation switched.
Yes. Yeah. I think I've had this sort of variegation with a Snow White growing indoors, but I've not had leaves as big as this.
This was in water.
Who knows? I mean, it's also part of what gives us the variety in plants. So this is another section. You have this. What's that cactus?
Yes, the
fairy tale castle. Yeah, it's lovely. Please bring it out. Let's see. It's huge. Is it heavy?
No, heavier.
Okay. Please, can you hold it up? Thank you. Oh, sorry, you're making me hold up. It was such a lovely plant. Oh.
The best look of this plant is actually from the top.
Really?
So many times when it's an aerial look because then you see the crosses.
Oh, nice. Let's try and get that. Alright, so thanks for watching. I hope you did enjoy this episode, and if you did, please like it and also consider subscribing to my channel and reading my website plantsintropicalspaces.com and also following my Slice of Amazon on Instagram. I'm also on Instagram as well. So until the next video, bye.